On this episode of Tracks, we see what many students do once the school day ends. We'll see how eSports is evolving in SK and is becoming a state sport. The cadets of Wolf Battalion talk about their experiences. The staff of SK share how they have made their career choices and how to avoid the pitfalls of post-high school stress. And we leave campus for downtown Port Orchard, where people can go to express themselves. All that and much more on this episode of Tracks.
Boba tea, bad parking, big football wins, and world news. South Kitsap has certainly produced a lot of media this year. And sometimes we like to show off the best of the best, and that's called Wolf Tracks. And where better to start than the World Cup.
The World Cup is almost there, the most important championship in the world. 32 countries, 8 groups. The points work like 3 points if you win, 1 if you get tied, and 0 if you lose. And an interesting fact is Spain won championship in 2010, and we're getting for another one.
The World Cup is hosted every 4 years, and it's going to be played in an Arab country for the first time, named Qatar.
For the first time, it's being held during winter because it's really hot in Qatar.
4 Arab countries are in this tournament.
This year's favorites are
Brazil,
Argentina,
France,
and of course, Belgium.
As the World Cup kicks off this weekend, we'll be highlighting a few of the countries playing here on WTV with the help of a few fans of each country. First up is England.
Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. Ladeau and I am rooting for England in the World Cup. England is in Group B along with Iran, the US and Wales, and they play their first match on Monday at 5 a.m. our time. And then again they'll play the US next Friday at 11 a.m. So, the country that invented the game of football, we are naturally the best. Just joking. Although the last time England won the World Cup was in 1966. Football, as you guys call it, soccer, is like a religion in the UK. The best players in the world play for some of the English Premiership teams. And the England team is known as the Three Lions. That's the logo they wear on their shirt. Harry Kane is the captain of the England team, and he is only 3 goals away from being the top goal scorer to ever wear an England shirt in all time. So during the World Cup, the entire country will quite literally grind to a stop. It's like the 4th of July and New Year's Eve all rolled into one. So go England!
Being honest, that looks like a lot of running. Besides, I'm much better at games on the computer. But that isn't a real sport, is it?
Have you ever watched some of your favorite esports streamers and wondered, how do I join an esport? Well, why not start here at SK? Recently, esports has been made into an official school sport here in Washington after it was approved by the WIAA.
WIAA is effectively what qualifies Washington activities as athletics, and recently esports has been considered valid for that.
Schools within the state of Washington can start developing and forming esports teams that can compete across the state just like any sport or competitive activity.
However, it being approved by WIAA isn't all that needs to happen. There's another group that would also need to approve it in order for esports to happen at our school, which is the school itself.
So WIAA has acknowledged esports as an official activity. So the school would have to recognize esports as an official activity of the school.
And since the eSport Club is working to get esports to be recognized at the school, it leads to another question. What games can be played? Well, for a game to be approved, it has to meet 3 criteria.
In order for a game to be considered for esports, we need it to be first approved by WIAA, we need to have enough people interested for a team, and also have it work with us technologically so we can actually connect with other teams and properly compete.
Right now, there are 2 games that meet all the criteria.
Last year we had Smash Bros. And Rocket League, and it looks like that's going to be the same this year. Doesn't mean that the club will only have that, but those are our esports games.
Well, what incentives is there besides being an esports player? Just like how football and basketball players can each earn scholarships, esports players can also earn scholarships.
A lot of colleges are now starting to form esports teams. And so just like you are a football player, a basketball player, you are a person representing your school in your area of expertise, and with that could come scholarships even at the club level for whatever university you end up going off to.
If you're interested in joining this potential esports team, why not start by going to Esports Club? The club meets every Wednesday in room 271 from 2 to 4 p.m.
Wow, I am pretty good at this. But I want to support my home team. Let's try basketball.
Number 21, Allie Loudermilk.
We'll go.
Number 11, Camden Haggerty. Number 30, Grace DeGaramore.
And it's good. Brianna Vergoose takes it.
Oh! Number 3, Brianna Vergoose.
Pointer will fall, 8-point lead Pointer. It's good! South Kitsap student section going wild, closing this game with the South Kitsap Wolves leading 54-48 against the Rogers Rams.
Wow, I am pretty good at this. Maybe I can make a career. Wait, what's a career?
Are you struggling to find a career that you would like to do after high school? Well, listen to some of our very own teachers at South Kitsap.
How's it going? My name is Mr. DeVoe. At first in high school, I thought I wanted to be in law enforcement. So after high school, I took a lot of criminal law classes. I even did an internship with the sheriff's department.
When I was in high school, I thought about being a teacher briefly, but then quickly changed my mind because I wanted to make a lot of money. So I was going to go to college to be a chemical engineer. While I was in college, I realized I really did not want to do that kind of work. So I went back to my original plan and became a family and consumer science teacher.
My name is Mr. Gatlin. In high school, my goal of a career was to be a history teacher. Shout out Miss Stearns and Mr. Winfrey. I went to Pacific University to play football and baseball, failed a few classes, had to transfer to Central Washington, took a few more history classes, and I just tried to change from there. So my career now, I teach AVID here at the high school, still coaching football, coaching baseball, and I would say I'm definitely satisfied with my career, if not the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Millions of teens across the country struggle with deciding what they want to do. So for input, we interviewed random locals in downtown Port Orchard.
When I was in high school, I had no idea about a career. And also, I was a bit of a troublemaker, so I didn't really think I was going to have a career. So right now, I'm a courier for LabCorp. And basically what I do is I go around to doctors and hospitals if they have a test that needs performed, a medical test, and then we take it to our lab and test it, see what's going on, if there's a problem or not.
The whole point of this story is that you never know where you're going in life. Have a plan after high school, but it's not necessarily going to go exactly how you planned. And definitely be flexible, adjust to it, and just go where life takes you.
Wow, I didn't know that there were that many careers available to me. But listen, I was kind of thinking, what if I joined the armed forces? How would I do that?
Right, face.
NJROTC stands for Naval Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. But what do people do in ROTC?
I am a platoon commander, which I am in charge of a class. So I get a group of around 18 people every B day, and I come in here, teach them how to drill, teach them their knowledge that they need to know, orders of the century, chain of command, and then just sometimes give them life advice.
Everyone joins NJROTC for a different reason, whether it be military or just career exploration.
The reason that I joined ROTC is because I want to join the military immediately right after high school, and this seemed like a good place to go for that. So,
yeah, I thought it would be fun. I'm really interested in military, so yeah.
I joined ROTC to better my life and better my future in the military.
Many people believe that NJROTC solidifies your career into the military, but that's not always the case.
I joined because it's like family tradition,
but I also wanted to get into ROTC so I can have job opportunities after high school.
NJROTC is a very broad program. They offer basic leadership training, aka boot camp, teams, and even fun field trips.
We are a leadership and citizenship course, and we are an elective here. You can take us instead of PE. You will earn PE credit, but we do a ton of leadership activities, and I think that we are just an excellent leadership lab. If you're looking to learn some leadership skills that'll last you for the rest of your days, this is the place.
Left, base, up, bounce, base.
There's a lot of cool activities that you can do in high school. I think none cooler than JROTC. I would encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone a little bit and try something new. It's going to look really good on your resume for college or for anything that you do after high school, okay? To have JROTC on there, because we're going to teach you a little bit about leadership, citizenship, accountability, responsibility, what we call soft skills that will really, really last you for the rest of your days. You're going to meet a whole lot of other cool kids, meet some friends, do some activities that you're not going to be able to do anywhere else, all right? And have some great memories of your high school time. So I really recommend that you give it a try for a semester.
Wow, that really might be the one for me. But sometimes I like to express my creative side. South Kitsap has had a lot of great productions this year, and I think I want to be part of that.
The trial is over, and now 12 jurors have to decide on the guilt or innocence of one man. This is the play 12 Angry Jurors. 12 Angry Jurors is a different type of play from some of the others you may have seen at SK. Many of the other plays at SK had a lighter tone, but this play delves into deeper and more serious themes.
I signed up for 12 Angry Jurors because theater's always been a part of my life, and I especially love the South Kitsap High School theater program. And the play really interested me because I've done a lot of silly, lighthearted plays and adventurous plays, but I've never done one in such a serious tone before.
This play also has a different setup from usual, with the audience surrounding the action on three sides, and with the actors on stage at all times.
Basically, when my character flies off the rails, that's when I have the most fun. And rehearsal is always really intense during that moment, and I love the focus of everyone, especially my scene partner for that one. Everyone in this cast is really supportive of each other's acting, and it's just a very talented group of people.
I realized that my favorite part of the play was that just our lead characters interacting, because all of the leads are extremely well. Even the smaller characters interact very well with physical confrontation, there it be big or small. It really adds to the play, no matter how tiny the scene is.
Don't miss this fantastic experience.
Sure, the acting is great. But what about the music? Just listen to this.
The band program at South Kitsap High School has a broad range of activities and extracurricular things that they do, such as basketball pep games for boys and girls, football games, the occasional soccer game, parades whether they're local, statewide, or nationally, and concerts.
So if we're doing a parade, we'll work on the music in class, and we'll work on the marching in class as well. And just depending on how long the parade is and how much we need to condition, that determines how much of class we use to get ready for it.
Throughout all the listed activities from earlier, all the people among it have a fun time while making memories and just overall having fun while doing something they enjoy at a fulfilling and competitive level. Now here are some favorite memories from band members over their time here at SK.
Me, Jasmine, Erica, and Belle all went to a leadership camp for drum majors, and it was a very fun week. We learned how to conduct, teach, march, and learn all the basic fundamentals for marching band, to relay it, to give it to our band.
Christmas concert, sophomore year, we got to honor the seniors and stuff that were there. We played some awesome Christmas music. My family was there. It was a great time, had some good parts too. Traveling to Wenatchee for the parade that we did last year, and then the parade itself was a blast. We got to play all our show tunes as a big group. That was a blast.
My 4 favorite band memories are my freshman year Chimes and Lights Parade, which is the parade that is marched downtown by our band. This year's Chimes and Lights Parade, which was marched back in December.
My first favorite band memory is my junior year. Our band Christmas concert, I was elected as one of the junior drum majors. We went to Portland for a Starlight Parade.
Towards the beginning of the year, around Christmas time, and at the end of the year, concert season is where the band receives certain songs based on the recent events given or the given time frame, and they get to display their professionalism through a performance of music for all to enjoy.
I just love the arts. And to think, right here in Port Orchard, there's a place where we can go and express ourselves. Check it out.
Port Orchard, our small, not so small town. Sometimes it feels like there's nothing to do. There are hidden gems all over, like the Western Washington Center of Arts, or WWCA. WWCA is a local theater downtown on Bay Street.
Been here for about, I think we've been in this building for about 15 years, or maybe, no, I guess it's been closer to 20 years now that I think about it, because we just had our 20th year anniversary, but I think we were doing some theaters up at a church before that.
WWCA does all sorts of shows. The Post Show will be hosted from October 14th through the 31st. If that doesn't pique your interest, the rest of their 2022-2023 season is located at wwca.us. Students get even cheaper tickets, so don't miss out on these great shows.
We have a real loyal following with certain people that know that we're here. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of advertising about the theater, so oftentimes people don't know that we're even down here. I've come into the theater and have introduced myself to somebody and asked how long they've been living in the area. They've been living here for probably 20 years and just found out about us. So that's kind of a little disheartening. But every time people come, they usually enjoy themselves. And so
a lot of work is put into these shows. WWCA is a volunteer-run theater, which means all the actors, light technicians, and even the concessions people are all volunteers. It is a great opportunity to get involved with your community.
But I think that people who do show up come here and have a really good time, and it's just a fun experience. Both the actors and the audience. I think the actors have a great time when they're doing the shows. So.
Close the evening. Let us move to more festive. To close the evening.
If you're interested in seeing their shows or even being in one, go to visit the theater on Bay Street or find them on social media, including Facebook and TikTok.
And just like that, we wrap up this year's edition of Wolf Tracks. I've been Ethan Duarte, and thank you so much for your continued support of South throughout this year. Have a great day, Wolves.